England get the job done against Tonga in their opening game of the Rugby World Cup. It's an awkward game again, and that England got the result that they wanted, but not overly convincingly. It took quite a while for them to get their final bonus point. Tonga, it's kind of a weird one because you can look at it as, well, big improvement from that side that conceded 90 odd points to the All Blacks just a few weeks ago. But also still, you can't look at a 35-3 defeat in any huge positive light anyway. But I still think if you were going to give a moral victory, do you give it to the Tongans, I suppose? At least based on recent events, yes. But it's the opening round of the World Cup, so it's the result England needed for sure. Good on them for getting that done. And Tonga will have to improve, even if that's still one step forward from their All Blacks game. They'll need to take another step forward going into their next game. It interestingly started off early. Tamiafuna, big hit on Farrell, and big hits were kind of the story of the day. Collision anyway for that one, but it was being played in a good spirit. There was a bit of banter, but nothing over the line, which is kind of good. Opening 10 minutes, the English were finding more space, especially out wide, and it looked like it was only a matter of time until they would score, but the English were making mistakes. Curry knocked it on. At one point, they went back for a penalty. Farrell kicked it. It's 3-0. They would have wanted 7, but they only got the 3. 12 minutes, Zane Capelli, big hit on Billy Vunipola. Again, that's what I'm talking about, these big hits. Vunipola is only used to go in one direction, but he was going back the other way. So that was like just an interesting turn of events. And Tonga went on from there to kick a penalty of their own. Takalua kicked that, so it was 3-3 at that stage. Looking like a proper contest. Tuilangi put a hit on Takalua not that long after that. It was perfectly timed. So this is what I'm talking about, these big hits going both ways. 22 minutes, somehow Piatau and Vaipulu managed to stop Underhill from scoring. He's going for the line, gets tackled, not held, gets back up, almost goes over, but the referee says looks like he's held up. TMO confirms, yep, held up, no try, but it's pretty much on their second chance play from the scrum. England get the ball to Tuilangi and he pounces over. They thought maybe he was held up for this one, but the ref thought probably a try. TMO has a look, can't confirm held up, so that one goes in for the try. They missed the conversion, so it's 8 points to 3. England back in front, and they just push on from there, really. 26 minutes, though, Takalua did miss kind of a medium difficulty penalty to get back in a bit closer. And then from there, Tuilangi gets his second try just a few minutes later on 30 minutes. And, the ball gets out to May. He's got some serious gas, gets it back inside to Tuilangi, and it's 15 points to 3 with the conversion. So Manu is looking in top form at that point. 36 minutes, England, after shot for a try. Oh, yeah, they were short for a try. I've written my notes, couldn't read it. They were very, very close to getting another try. They're short, take a penalty, make it 18 points to 3. 39 minutes, interestingly, the TMO, who's one guy I don't really like, Ben Skeen. I've never liked him as a TMO. I'm not usually fussed about who the refs are to any strong degree, but Ben Skeen just drives me up the wall. Takes a big long look at Fissy Hoy's shot on Watson, and I'm looking at the Spark stream, and they're kind of surprised that they're even looking at it because he hits him in the chest. Watson's head does kind of go back, but that's just because he's being hit, rather than because he's being hit in the head. So eventually the ref's just like, yeah, it's a tackle, move on. So that was a bit of a waste of time, and that'll have, because about the Fiji game, one of the Aussie guys tackled the Fijian number 7, Yato, and it wasn't looked at. And then you get a situation where it's a Pacific Island team tackling a guy, and it is looked at. So it's that, is there more scrutiny placed on the Pacific guys rather than the other guys? I'm not sure. It's just it just seemed like a big waste of time for that anyway. But it was a hell of a tackle. Before halftime, Tonga do go closer with one attack, but they get turned over. And at halftime, it goes in with that 18-3 scoreline. Run meters at that stage 308 to 59. So England dominating there. More possession, England 53. More territory 66, which was the big one. Tackling England 89%, Tonga only at 67. and they've conceded 18 points. So I think in that New Zealand game they were at like 50 or 40 and conceded like 40 plus. So still a step forward. Second half, Farrell kicks a penalty. 42 minutes makes it 21-3. 56 minutes. George gets his try from the back of a big maul. It's a line out. It's a maul. It's well set, and they go over for the try at 28-3. Tonga, 64 minutes. Attack, 5 meter line out. They get the maul going. They get the backs in there. They're trying to get this one try against England, but England stop it. And you can see from the English guys' reaction, they're really pumped, and they are really keen to keep Tonga kind of scoreless in terms of tries. 73 minutes. Watson has kick return. He runs through, I don't know how many defenders, but it is a magnificent run. It's probably my favourite moment of that game. Just how many guys he beat. Nothing ended up coming of it because a phase or two later, Slade ends up passing it. I think Daly's outside him, but he passes just straight into touch. And that was a wee bit of the story of that game, whereas England would do something magnificent and then something just lacking sharpness. So you could see the look of frustration on Eddie Jones's face was there. That camera was probably slightly too close to his face, but I felt a bit for him. But again, first game of the World Cup, you'd rather have that lack of sharpness here and just refine that as you go on rather than the other way around. 75 minutes, England knock on after going for a bunch of phases. 76 minutes, they finally get through. It's Cowan Dickey set up by Jonathan Joseph. That makes it 35 points to 3, bonus point try. So much welcomed for England, I guess. Important in the scheme of things in this pool to get that bonus point. So that's the way it finished. Tonga did attack well past the 80 minutes. Couldn't get anything from it, but they showed a bit of heart and, the attitude that they weren't going to give up. They were going to keep fighting. So, yeah, final stats, run meters 670 to 159. That's pretty dominant for England. Ball in hand, possession 53 actually goes with Tonga, so they had slightly more ball, but territory still 56 with England, so they ended up with more. Tackling percentage, England maintain a healthy 84%. Tonga 72% is a bit of a lift, but still a bit of a concern. But I guess you conceded 35 points, so that kind of makes sense. Penalties conceded were 10 to England, 9 to Tonga, and that Tongan scrum actually looked pretty decent. So interesting, as in recent times, England's scrum has looked pretty strong itself. So interesting result. As I said, England get what they need. They get the bonus point, even if it took ages to get it. The defense was good. Goal kicking, again, perhaps not as sharp as we're used to seeing, but Watson was in good form. 117 run meters, 7 defenders beaten. Tuilangi, I think he got man of the match, 6 defenders beaten, so top form. Johnny May looked sharp. So still plenty to like about that, even if it wasn't the complete package as yet. As I said, first game for them. Lola here for Tonga had 6 defenders beaten, but only 21 run meters. None of the Tongan guys really got past like 20 or 30 individual run meters. Capelli had 10 out of 12 tackles. Curry had 15 out of 16. That guy is a workhorse player. So positives for Tonga, even though they have been beaten by 30 plus points. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed. 12:30 a.m. What did you guys think of the game? Any particular moments that you were particularly happy with? Guys you would like to see shifted around for the next one? How do you think this sets England up going forward in this very tough pool they are in? What about Tonga? Can you see them getting any closer results against the other teams in the pool? But you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.